Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for joining me again today. I have a fun little project. I'm experimenting with canvas prep, and my idea is that my final canvases, well, some of the final canvases will be really textured and have multiple layers going on. And at the moment, I only use gesso to texture my canvases. And when a canvas arrives, when you buy it in a shop or you order it online or something, it will arrive with a really thin layer of this stuff to go on. It goes on the actual material of the canvas to seal it so that you can then paint on it in oils or acrylic. And this is basically just white acrylic paint, but when I do my oils on canvases like this, I use more of this stuff. I use a little bit extra and do another layer and then create some textures within that. And so this is an example just to show you. If I just zoom you in here and take you with me, here you can see, well, I think you can almost see that there's like a bit of texture going on. It's a little bit thicker. And over here you can see the land that's popping out. Just focus the camera there. The land that's popping out here is created, especially there, with extra gesso. And then the oil paint adds on top of that, and it all just kind of builds up from there. I've done it here as well in the sky with lines and just using a palette knife. And over here. And this is an example of where I haven't prepped the canvas again and just painted straight on top of a smooth canvas. You can still create texture with oils, obviously, like you can build as many layers as you want to. And you can see that I've done that to a certain extent over here, but it creates a smoother effect when you don't prep it again. So some of the pieces I want to do, I will leave it and I will create that smoother effect. So to start the hunt and the search for which materials, what paste, how I'm going to do it, and to start these experiments, I prepped 2 baby canvases yesterday. One with this texture paste, which is an obvious choice. It's just a very simple texture paste, Rowney, and I just put a layer on top and then used the back of a paintbrush to just make some little scratchings and left it to dry overnight. And then this texture over here, I've used a Crackling effect modelling paste and just put the 2 layers on. So you put one layer on, which is like a glue, and then you let it harden for an hour, and then you put the next layer on and leave it overnight. And then this is the effect that it creates, which I kind of like. It's a lot more, well, cracky than this one, obviously. But yeah, I like the way that it leaves some of the canvas smooth still, and so you've got kind of 2 things going on. But then this one does that as well. But I think, yeah, the cracking effect over here is really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna paint on top of them in acrylic, because I paint in acrylic and then I paint on top of that in oils when I want to create that layer underneath of depth. So let's go. So the acrylic paint is now dry and it's looking good, it's pretty solid. The crackling effect is really solid actually and looking great. It's soaked up a lot of the water in the paint and it looks quite cool. The texture paste is thinner, so I used the same consistency of paint mostly, I think, but it's come out a little bit thinner, which is quite interesting. So now I'm just going to do an oil painting, a really rough oil painting on top, and see how it turns out. Okay, so 2 very rough oil paintings. I really liked using the crackling paste. It was really nice because the paint sat really well with it. And one thing I do need to be careful of, because I use a knife a lot, not to scratch off and peel off some of the paste, but yeah, I think if I'm just careful of that. Yeah, so I really liked them both actually, but I think I preferred this one. I like the build up that it gives. So what I might do next time is do another little experiment with the crackling paste and add a little bit of sand or dirt in, see how that goes. Well, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.